From a disgruntled player banned from a popular server calling in 24,000 bomb threats in an attempt to try to take that server down as revenge, the largest ever DDoS attack in history, and a player who stole tens of thousands of dollars in rare Minecraft accounts, to a famous YouTuber currently awaiting trial for drugs and assaulting a police officer, a Minecraft player leaking classified military documents in a Discord server, and even a Minecraft player who was charged for murder. The Minecraft community has had its fair share of criminals. Today, we'll talk about a series of Minecraft players and servers who were involved in or committed crazy crimes, some of which spending decades in prison for their acts, many of which entirely forgotten, or who went under the radar. Let's dive in. Back in early 2018, one type of game mode that was popular in the Minecraft community was known as HCF, or Hardcore Factions. This game mode was a PvP-centric spin on the popular Factions mode and featured clans or factions of players who would attempt to fight and kill other players and then raid them. It was a highly competitive mode that became infamous for its toxicity. One such server popular at the time was known as VeltPvP. VeltPvP was regularly seeing over 1,000 players online daily, and at the beginning of new seasons with map resets, could see peaks as high as 2,000 to 3,000 concurrent players. It was a very popular server to say the least. Now, one thing to know about Minecraft HCF servers is that they could make some serious money. We are talking upwards of 40 to 50k per month on the high end. And as such, many people tried to get in on the craze and would make competing servers that all try to take one another's player bases. This led to a lot of shady business going on behind the scenes, with certain individuals joining other server staff teams to attempt to sabotage them, or most commonly, servers DDoSing one another to take them down and rendering their servers unplayable. But one player took it to a whole new level. In March of 2018, roughly 24,000 bomb threat emails were sent to various schools in the UK, over 400 schools in total. The emails these schools received claimed that a student had been sent into the schools with a bomb strapped to them, which would detonate in 3 hours' time. The email demanded $5,000 be sent to an email address, which was payments@VeltPvP.com. Mainstream media and news articles quickly picked up on the story, and within a few days, there were dozens of articles online. However, VeltPvP would respond, mentioning that they had nothing to do with the bomb threats and they were being harassed by a group of cybercriminals trying to harm them. Effectively, what they were saying was that a malicious actor, potentially a disgruntled player or competing server owner, had managed to spoof VeltPvP's email and sent emails in an attempt to incriminate VeltPvP and get their website domain suspended, meaning their main server IPs would no longer work and players would not be able to connect to the server anymore, potentially forcing VeltPvP to shut down for good. PC Games reported that allegedly this attack was done in retaliation against VeltPvP for DDoS attacks they supposedly carried out against other Minecraft servers. However, VeltPvP's owner in a BBC interview mentioned that the bomb threats were most likely carried out by a disgruntled player who got banned and was mad. A couple months later, in December 2018, the BBC would put out another article mentioning that a 19-year-old from Hertfordshire was arrested days after the crime took place, but supposedly continued making bomb threats after, even making a fake report of a hijacked plane in an attempt to remake 9/11 whilst on bail. He was sentenced to 1 year in jail for the bomb threat emails and 2 years for the fake plane hijacking threat. A second person who helped was also arrested and charged around the same date. Since we are on the topic of Minecraft servers, it's fitting that our next story involves potentially the largest ever recorded DDoS attack in history, of which was directed straight at a Minecraft server known as Minemen.club. Minemen.club is the biggest and one of the last remaining 1.8 Minecraft duels and PvP practice servers, even recently expanding into the modern PvP scene. Similar to HCF servers, 1.8 PvP servers like Minemen tend to have a higher density of toxic players due to the server's competitive nature. The server sees anywhere from 500 to 1,500 concurrent players daily. Now, to understand the scale of this DDoS attack, you first have to understand how a DDoS attack works. To crudely summarize, a DDoS, or distributed denial of service attack, is an attack whereby a website, or in this case a Minecraft server, is flooded with traffic, often join requests, overwhelming it and potentially bringing it offline. Now, DDoS mitigation such as TCP Shield and Cloudflare do exist, as Minecraft servers are hit with smaller DDoS attacks almost on the daily. But what makes larger scale DDoS attacks like the one against Minemen so tough to deal with is the quantity of the attack. Minemen Club saw an attack which measured at 3.15 billion packets per second for an entire hour, according to Global Secure Layer, who reported on the attack. Whilst this is not the biggest attack by sheer volume, the packets per second sent was record-breaking, the most ever reported to the public, surpassing the previous record by over 3 times. For some context, back in 2017, the Mirai botnet was able to take Hypixel, Badline, Mineplex, and other huge Minecraft servers offline, and that was only at a rate of a bit under 500 million packets per second. So this attack was truly monumental, and yet it was mitigated by TCP Shield. So that just leaves the who. Who did this? And that question is still unknown to this day, as despite multiple news outlets reporting on the matter, seemingly no individual stepped forward to claim credit. That being said, there's a good chance it was once again a disgruntled player who may have been banned from the server. From roughly February 2022 to March 2023, a 22-year-old Minecraft player named Jack Texera leaked sensitive United States military documents in a Minecraft-related Discord server. These sensitive documents included policies about how everyone needs to subscribe to TheMisterEpic so he can reach 800k subs by the end of the year. No pressure. Anyways, he was able to obtain such documents by using his clearance level to gain information above his classification grade. The documents he leaked supposedly contained highly classified information, including details about the US and NATO's plan to support Ukraine in the war, as well as details on a Chinese drone program. Supposedly, he leaked these documents onto a Minecraft-related Discord server called Thug Shaker Central, but there were also reports of other individuals sharing his leaks in a Minecraft Earth server Discord. Jack was arrested in April of 2023 after supposedly trying to destroy his hard drives as well as his iPad once he realized of the grave mistake he'd made. He was sentenced to 15 years in prison in November of last year for leaking highly classified military documents, with the prosecution stating the scope of his betrayal is breathtaking, the amount of damage he caused immeasurable. This stuff is taken extremely seriously, and there are still articles coming out today discussing how he may face additional military charges on top of his current sentence. Ironically, it seems that the original reason he decided to leak such documents in the first place was because he was bragging after a member of the Discord asked him to post classified information. So in a nutshell, he got into a Discord argument in Thug Shaker Central and leaked military secrets, resulting in him now spending 15 years in prison. Classic. Our next story comes from an anonymous source within the OG users Minecraft community, a community centered around buying and selling Minecraft accounts with OG or rare usernames, as well as accounts with rare capes. This community is also somewhat infamous, but not for toxicity like HCF, but rather for the number of cybercriminals who came from or were involved with it for some time. You see, one of the main ways OG Minecraft accounts are obtained or brought to the community is through theft, specifically social engineering. Many of the Minecraft accounts with the rarest usernames are very old, which have long since been abandoned or forgotten, or are owned by individuals who aren't looking to sell. As such, smart individuals find ways to steal these accounts' details, often their transaction ID emails, through social engineering. I've made a whole video about that here if you're curious on the specifics. Anyways, due to the immense value some of these accounts can sell for, on the higher end now being in the low hundreds of thousands, it's no surprise the individuals who can get involved can end up on the wrong side of the law. One such player is a player most commonly known as Rich Stage. As was told to me by an anonymous source, Rich Stage's journey began back in 2015 when he wanted to buy himself a Minecraft account with a rare Minecon cape. He made an account on MC Market, which used to be the go-to place for buying and selling such accounts under the alias Homily. From 2015 to 2016, he began scamming users out of Minecon cape accounts, selling some of them for profit, getting banned many times and making alt accounts to continue his escapades. His next well-known alias was MySpace, of which his scamming antics became very well known. He then switched to a new alias, Erethix, and built up a new reputation as a well-known Minecon account cape seller. And after building up such a reputation in 2021, he managed to become trusted enough to do higher-end account deals, eventually scamming $40,000 worth of Minecraft accounts, which I was told was about 20 rare accounts in total, then running off in the biggest exit scam the community had seen at the time. This exit scam was what really put him on the map. 2 years later, in 2021, 2023, he returned to the OG users community under another alias, Ni, and began a middleman service, effectively where he middleman sales between buyers and sellers. He was banned after scamming $400, but then was later unbanned when the OG users website had a rollback. He continued scamming throughout 2023, but has since been getting into trouble in real life too. He has been arrested multiple times, once for prowling and loitering, which sounds a lot funnier than it is. Basically, it's just hanging around areas an individual isn't meant to be in and acting suspicious. He has a variety of traffic infractions of which he has failed to appear in court for, and even apparently stole $5,000 from an unoccupied building, of which he was also arrested for, but I'm unable to find an official source for this. Effectively, as my anonymous source told me, he is basically just a retard IRL. The only thing he knows or understands is how to scam people, but somehow he pulled off one of the biggest Minecraft account heists ever. A few weeks ago, I made a video talking about a Minecraft server called Intcraft, a historical roleplay type server originally founded on 4chan's international board, which ended up being blocked by Mojang for featuring highly offensive symbols on their website as well as in-game. Well, an individual who became known in the community of Intcraft, as well as another similar server called Civcraft, ended up committing the most serious crime in this video, and I was put in contact with Goaboa, a successful Intcraft group commander and historian who was in the same group as this player, so he could tell me more. Devon Arthurs, or as he was known online, Wolf Devon, began as any normal teenager playing Minecraft. His Minecraft forums account, created back in 2011, still exists, of which we can see him applying to join a variety of whitelisted Minecraft servers. We can even see some of his older comments, calling out servers for being full of griefers, racists, homophobes, and rednecks. Nothing from his early post history seemed to imply he was anything but ordinary. He eventually joined a server called Civcraft in the mid-2010s, a server with its own extremely long and unique history, as well as community, which I was told contained a proper collection of schizos of every sort, with many 4chan adjacent factions being present on the server. He also played on Intcraft and was second in command of one of the largest groups known as Striker Gang, which was one of the server's most dominant groups for years, featuring a diverse array of players from different cultural backgrounds. Throughout the mid-2010s, Devon had increasingly been spending time in political 4chan circles and boards, of which after the election in 2016 became very popular, resulting in many of the board's previous users leaving to other online forums, which are even more extreme. Devon happened to fall down such a pipeline around this time and had gained a reputation for being a neo-Nazi. I was told by a player who spent some time playing with Devon on Civcraft, that also wishes to remain anonymous, that Devon talked about politics to an annoying degree and would often reference demons talking to him. He frequently brought up his radical ideologies, but for the most part, he was just viewed as a crazy edgy dude on a Minecraft server. In May of 2017, and now 18-year-old Devon was arrested after he ran into a smoke shop, took people hostage and said he was angry about America bombing Muslim countries, waved around a pistol and told everyone to get on the ground. After being arrested by police who went with him to his nearby apartment, they found 2 of his roommates shot dead and another in shock crying. It was later discovered that all 4 individuals were brought together by neo-Nazi ideology, of which they bonded over in online chat rooms. Devon, however, over the past few months had become radicalized into an Islamist, shooting and killing both of his roommates over supposed disagreements in his religious and political beliefs. Vice has a good article detailing the specifics of this change in worldview, but the long story short is that Devon had converted to an ultra-conservative version of Islam, which I was told he decided to convert to due to autism pretty much, and had begun defending terrorist organization ISIS, with his new beliefs now being incompatible with the previously shared beliefs he had with his roommates. A few years later, Devon pleaded guilty to murder and now serves a 45-year prison sentence. The Intcraft and Civcraft communities would create a few memes of Devon, even cosplaying as him in-game once the news eventually broke. Prior to murdering his roommates, Devon did not have a criminal record whatsoever, and this story serves as an important reminder of the dangers of online radicalization on impressionable teenagers. Thanks to Goaboa and members of the Crusalis server for helping me find info on Devon. And finally, you most likely all know PopularMMOs, the once titan of a Minecraft YouTuber that made up many of our childhoods. You are probably also familiar with the many troubles his YouTube channel and personal life faced within its later years, leading up to him being arrested a few times and appearing in court for various minor infractions, such as invading a baseball match. He even posted a video about how he went to jail. I'm not going to go into detail on his past because it's been covered so extensively, but rather talk about something which happened very recently that not many people seem to know as of yet. In March of last year, PopularMMOs was involved in an altercation with police and allegedly resisted arrest and assaulted a police officer, causing them minor injuries. He would later plead guilty to the offense, thus avoiding jail time, but was still required to complete 12 months of probation and 100 hours of community service. Effectively, for the next 12 months, he was to be supervised and would have to regularly check in with a probation officer to ensure he wasn't getting into trouble. However, it was revealed only about 2 months ago now, in January, that PopularMMOs had violated his probation and failed to serve out the entirety of his sentence and now had an active search warrant out for him. Allegedly, it seemed like he was on the run from police, which was what was reported by various news outlets online. Which made it all the more hilarious when whoever obtained his account years ago happened to join my Minecraft server at the same time back in January out of the blue, but that's not really relevant. Since this information has come out, all his accounts have gone mostly silent. The last time he uploaded a video was over a year ago, with his last YouTube community post being from 7 months ago. His last posts on Instagram were from 2020, but his last post on Twitter was a response to a post about him avoiding jail time in November of last year. Although he did retweet a post back in February, which is after he allegedly fled the police. Since there hasn't been much information on him at all, with his most dedicated fans in his subreddit only managing to find out that he was eventually taken into police custody and was pending trial as of a month ago. As it turns out, he violated his parole due to drug-related reasons, which were also part of why he was involved with the police in the first place, mind you. His fans are very much concerned for his well-being, and as of this video, it seems the outcome of this entire situation is still up in the air. That about wraps it up though. Let me know if you guys would like to see a part 2 with some other stories, or even specific videos going into more detail on specific cases. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching.